Boop, 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 boop. Okay, bump, bump. Hi, my name is Philip Reed, and I am the President and CEO of Phoenix National Business Group. Today, I'm going to give a presentation as to what my company does, what we stand for, and what we are about. Phoenix National Business Group is an online marketing, media, and production company that produces websites, professional social media platforms, and online video productions for companies, places of worship, and entrepreneurs. Our programs also includes a unique series of talk shows and online events that empower the public with information that will improve their lives, with positive, uplifting messages reflecting the love of God and His vision of grace and restoration for the world. We have and are pulling together a network of entrepreneurs and leaders that seek to change the world with the fundamental belief that without hope, dreams die. Not only do we develop and produce these programs, we also establish platforms for distribution through our social media presence, which has thousands of viewers throughout the internet. We also have our own channel, PNN, Phoenix National Network, that goes out to millions of people across the world on Roku and Amazon TV. Our motto is, when you win, we win, because we believe in helping normal people and businesses do extraordinary things by developing, creating, and publishing their ideas to the world. This is what Phoenix National Business Group does, and we do it proudly. If you would like more information about the services and products that we offer, please feel free to visit our website at phoenixnationalbusinessgroup.com, or you can give us a call at 914-297-PNBG. That is 914-297-7624. We do look forward to hearing from you, and see you soon. Phoenix National Business Group is now offering their online services on Roku and Amazon TV for only $99.99 per month. This is a limited time offer, so give us a call at 914-297-7624 for more information, or visit our website at phoenixnationalbusinessgroup.com. That is phoenixnationalbusinessgroup.com. See you soon. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are on our Power Up week, and we're talking to entrepreneurs and businesses this week that with programs that can empower you to do better in your business, mentally, physically, and also financially. So please stay tuned for the programs we have this week. We have coming up today, right now, we have Mona Ostrowski with ULA, and she's going to be presenting, doing a presentation for us today, as well as Oscar Capel.
and he's going to be talking to us about the benefits of Legal Shield and certain ideas that they have that will benefit you in a business as well as personally. And also later on today, we're going to have our business coach, Justine Clay. She's going to come on later today and talk to us about things that we need to do in our business in this critical time of COVID. So stay tuned. If you're an entrepreneur, you have a business, you want to start a business, now is the time to tune in and get the information you need to get started or to get to the next level of your business. So without any further ado, I am going to introduce our our coach, life coach for today. I don't know what that was, but our life coach for today, Mona Ostrowski.
Hey, Phil. Good morning,
Hey.
Oscar. Thank you for
Good morning.
having me again. Super grateful to be here. And yeah, my name is Mona Ostrowski. I am a certified ULA life coach. And one of my favorite things to do is to share ULA. So let's just jump straight to it, shall we? Let me see if I can manage to share my screen without any technical uh, difficulties. Woohoo! Think we got action. Yay! All right. So, ULA. What is ULA? ULA comes from the French word or the French expression, I guess, better, ooh la la, that can be best described as a state of awesomeness, a life that is balanced and growing in key areas of health, finance, career, relationship, and just general well-being. I know we're talking about finances this month, but I did like what the introduction that Phil did, because what I'm going to talk about, it's for everybody, not just entrepreneurs, but private people as well. Because today, what I wanted to talk about is success. And what is success really? Many of us, when we think about success, we think about a lot of money, a big house, fancy car. However, I would like to challenge that idea a little bit today. Bear with me though, I'm going to circle back to that in a minute. Just think about it. We live today in a golden age, in an era where everything is available to us just with a swipe of a finger. You want food, you can order it on your phone. You want transportation, you can be taken from here to there. You want to go shopping, I mean, you don't even have to leave your house anymore. Information, I mean, don't even get me started on information. You can pretty much get a college degree without even attending college because all the information is available to you for free online. But the funny thing is that despite of this, we just kind of take it for granted. Like, take our financial situation, for example. Like I mentioned last week, nearly 7 in 10 of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. And that's with all the information that is available to them online. 38% of American households have credit card debts. And 33% of American adults have $0 saved for retirement. Now, why is that? Imagine those statistics as people, because that's what they are. I'm sure that if you met them when they were in their 20s or even their early 30s, they would be eager towards life. They would have a certain sparkle to their eyes, and they all believed, they desired, they dreamed that when they got old, they would be successful, right? Um, so, what happened? Sorry, we skipped the slide. There we go. We move on and we talk about why so many, before we move on and talk about why so many of us end up as a statistic, let me share with you my favorite quote, why my favorite definition of success. And this is also where I want to challenge your idea of success. So according to Earl Nightingale, who has this amazing, go on YouTube, search Earl Nightingale, The Stranger's Secret, and listen to it. It's amazing. This was recorded back in the 50s, I think, and it's still just as valid today. But he says, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. It's not necessarily money, a fancy house, or a fast car. I mean, it could be if that's what you really want, but success is really when you make up your mind about what you want to do, and then you go out and start doing it. That is success. So let me read that again. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Now, let me share some examples that you might be able to relate to. So success is the woman who is a wife and mother because she wants to become a wife and mother and is doing a good job at it. Or like in my family, success is the man who is the husband and father because he wanted to be a husband and father and he does a great job at it. Success is the school teacher who is teaching school because that is what he wanted to do. Success is the person who wanted to become top-notch and grow and build within his or her company. Success is the man who is following a vision and building a dream because that is what he always wanted to do. The only people who succeed are people who are progressively realizing a worthy ideal. They are the people who say, I am going to become this, and then begin to work towards that. So the question is there a key that could guarantee a person's becoming successful if they knew about it and how to use it? Well, there is such a key, and I found it. I actually found it in ULA, and it's quite simple. And you are actually not going to believe me when I tell you, because that's how simple it is. The key to success is setting goals. There you have it. The secret to success is setting goals. Some of us have it, some don't. And people who succeed, people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. So let me give you an example. Now, this is from Earl Nightingale's talk, so it might sound a little bit outdated, but I'm sure you can relate anyway. Think of a ship leaving the harbor, and think of it with a complete voyage mapped out and planned. The captain and crew know exactly where they are and how long it will take, where they're going and how long it will take. It has a definite goal, and 9,999 times out of 10,000, it will get to where it started out to go. Now let's take another ship, just like the first one, only let's not put a crew on it or a captain at the helm. Let's give it no aiming point, no goal, and no destination. We just start the engine and let it go. I think you'll agree with me that if it gets out of the harbor at all, it will either sink or wind up on some deserted beach. It can't go any place because it has no direction and no guidance. In ULA, we have a 3-step process to arrive at that life of more balance, less stress, and greater purpose, a life of awesomeness, of success, if you may. The first step is to take an honest but fair look at your life over the past year or even the past years. What have been your highs? What have been your lows? Be honest though, this is for you and for you only. Remember, you are now setting off on a new journey here, and your journey will be very similar to, say, when you arrive in a new city. You don't know where you are, but you do know where you're going. So, when you're not familiar, you kind of bring out your phone and you open the app that is called Maps, and you know, what is the first thing the app will do? Sorry, I'm a bit flustered here today. What is the first thing that your app will do? There's this blue little dot that will come up and it will tell you where you are. And that's the same here. By taking a look back at your year or your years, you are finding your blue dot. You are figuring out where you are on your journey through life. And if you're interested, why not go to www.ulalife.com/step1 and do the ULA balance test there. And once it's done, set up a free 30-minute call where you and I can talk through your results. I would love to support you on this journey, especially as we're coming close to a new year. So step 2, now that you know where you are, it's all about figuring out where you want to go. And this is my favorite part of it all. For some of us, this can be really easy because we know exactly what we want. For others, it can be a little bit trickier. But here are 2 things that can be said of everyone. 1, each of us wants something. There is something that we want. And 2, each of us are afraid of something. The question is, who are you going to let steer your ship? Your dreams and desires, or your fears and worries? Now, on this step, you should allow yourself to dream. Like I said, this is my favorite part. Let your dreams be scary big and ambitious. Allow your imagination to soar. Relax, chill, close your eyes, and let your inner mind's eye run the movie of your dreams. Are you smiling yet? I hope so, because this is where we start getting down to business. I want you to write down what it is that you want more than anything. It may be better health so you can play with your children or grandchildren. It may be more money. Perhaps you would like to double your income or make a specific amount so you can pay off some debt. It could be a more harmonious family, success at your job, a closer relationship with God, more friends, more fun, whatever it is, write it down, be specific, and use details. Or even better, and I have this at home in New York and I miss it. Take some magazines, cut out images of your dreams and desires, post it on a board and have it in front of you so that you can see it every single day. Remember, each of us wants something, so don't be afraid to ask for what you want. So now, let's talk about goals. Goals are specific, tactical action steps that you take towards your dreams. In ULA, we talk about SMART goals. Now, SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, accountable, realistic, and time. So let's talk about that a little bit. Specific. So when you write down your goals, make sure your goals are specific. For example, if you have a fitness goal you want to achieve, it cannot be, I want to be healthier. This is very vague, and vague goals, well, I'm sorry, but they give vague results. A specific goal would be something like, I want to lose weight. Measurable. So let's keep to the fitness goal that we just talked about. If your goal is to lose weight, a measurable goal would be something like, I want to lose 30 pounds. And by getting on the scale once a week, you can measure where you are in your progress. So your goal is therefore measurable. Accountable. Staying accountable is one of the hardest aspects of goal setting. And as far as I'm concerned, you have a few choices. One, you can set yourself small but achievable goals to start off with so that you can get into that habit of succeeding, that habit of achieving your goals. Two, you can get a group of friends together or ask your family to help keep you accountable. Or three, if you are really serious about your success, you, as most successful people like, I don't know, Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins, they actually have coaches. So if you are serious about reaching your goals and achieving your success, you hire a coach like myself that can help you stay on top, not only your goals, but make sure that you progress forward as well. Realistic. Like I mentioned before, above, just be realistic. If you're a runner like myself, with a goal of running a marathon, well, I did not set out to run a full marathon on day one. My first goal was to run a full 5K, and even that took me a couple of months. And then from there, I progressed into a 5 miler and then slowly started increase until I had reached the half marathon distance. I was being realistic with where I was in my fitness and when I started, and then I built on that. And then time. Setting a time by which a goal is to be completed will also, one, help you keep your goals realistic, and two, help you stay accountable. So a SMART goal, again, using the fitness example we started off with, could be, I would like to use 30 pounds by April 30th, 2021. So it's now October 27th, so that would give you 6-7 months to complete your goal. And then it is realistic and you feel like you have something that you're working towards and not have to do it all at once. Remember, your goals are the milestones to your dreams. And now that you have written down your goals, think about them. Think about them as often as possible in a cheerful, relaxed, positive manner. Think about them when you get up in the morning. It should be the first thing that you look at, because then you will have something to look forward to. You would have something to work towards, something to get out of bed for. Remember when I asked you to play the movie in your mind's eye of your dream life? That's the feeling that I want you to connect with. When that smile comes across your lips, like when you wake up in the morning, you read your goal, you close your eyes, and you connect with that vision of what your life would look like. During the day as well, make sure that whenever you can, that you touch back to that vision of where it is that you want to go. And also, the vision board is there to help you as well, to spark your imagination and to get you to that place. Also, before you go to bed, make sure you look at it. The last thing that you should see is that vision, that dream to where you want to go, and then you will fall asleep with that in mind. That's awesome. The dreams is just such a huge thing. Like, dreaming in imagination is something that we think is not allowed to do as adults. We think it's childish and nonsense. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not, and to encourage you to start dreaming again, because you know what? Your life depends on that. Now, step 3 on your journey, and our last step, is how are we going to get there? There is only one simple answer to that question: action. Dreams and even goals are worthless unless you act on them. We have all experienced, life getting in the way. And this is why the ULA guys have divided their goal cards, and I have one right here, into 2. Yes, life gets in the way, but that's not to say that we put life aside or we press pause because we have a goal to achieve. A goal to achieve. The house still needs to be cleaned, the laundry needs to be done, the kids needs to be dropped off and picked up. Then there's shopping, the post office, coffee with a friend, phone call with mom. All of these things still need to be done. So yes, we include all of these, as we call it, life skittles on the one side of the car. Before you go to bed at night, make sure you write down what are the things that I have planned for tomorrow. You write them down, and then you have your day planned out. On the other side of your card, you want to write down 3 action steps that you take towards reaching your goal. So on this side here, where it says oranges, you will write down 3 action steps that you take on a daily basis towards reaching your goal. So let's keep to the example of losing weight. 3 action steps towards losing weight might be something like 1, remove all sugar and processed food from the pantry. 2, go for a 1-mile walk. Or 3, drink 2 liters. I don't know what that translates to into US, but 2 liters of water a day. Now notice also that all of this, even though they're smaller goals, all of the goals are SMART. They're specific, measurable, accountable, realistic, and time-based because you're going to do them in one day. So there you have it. The key to success, because remember, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And you have, 1, identified your worthy ideal, your dream life, and 2, you are taking action steps to progressively realize it, i.e., you are a success. And just to close it off, I want you to remember this as well. And is Phil there? Because I need him. Phil, can you read this for me, please?
Sure. It says, ask and it shall be given you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. So in writing down your goals and your dream life, you're asking, I'm getting goosebumps. You're asking, in taking your daily action steps towards your goals, you are seeking, and by being persistent and working towards your goals, you are knocking. So This is your life. It is up to you now. And I finish it off as always, be grateful, have faith, and go get your ULA life. Thank you so much.
Wow, that is awesome. What? That's amazing. Thank you so much, Mona. Was a great presentation. I'm sure Oscar has a couple questions. I wrote down a couple.
Oh yeah, I've been
There's a few
scribbling
things
notes down.
Yeah.
As Mona's talking. And the one thing, can you guys hear me? I don't know if my mic is.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
All right. So one of the things that came to mind is an old saying is, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. I think people set goals that are so big and they're like, oh, I'm going to run a marathon. I'll start tomorrow because that's 20 something miles. I can't do it today.
Mm-hmm.
So setting those goals that are the SMART goals that are measurable and say, I'm going to walk to the end of the block today and back.
And also having grace with yourself to allow yourself to just do that. To say, you know what, I did well. Like I've had, coaches in my life, and the first thing he did with me is like, he says, Mona, raise your right hand. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, okay, raise your left hand. I'm like, okay. And he's like, now you pat yourself on the shoulder. Good job. Like you did it. And all I did was I had the which for me was like, yeah, whatever, right? But he's like, no, you just had the greatest realization and you did great. Now you congratulate yourself. So have grace. Don't have the expectations of running, a marathon. Don't even have, I mean, I couldn't even run a mile. So but just start. Just start. There's
That's
this,
all it is.
yeah, there's this on YouTube. I always listen when I run. I always listen to this motivational talks, and one of the guys says, if you cannot fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl, but don't stop moving. You move forward, you take a step. Whether you're down on your knees crawling, it doesn't matter. You move that one step forward, and that's what goals have helped me do. Just take that one step, and then it's taught me to have grace. If I didn't take that step yesterday, okay, I'll take it today, and I have grace of where I was yesterday and move on today.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to somebody yesterday because like sometimes we try to make things happen and in our time, and we're like, yeah, it's gotta happen, and then we get frustrated when we can't. I call it force ripening, right? You get frustrated when you can't make it happen because that thing that you're trying to do has its own process. Right? It's like you plant a tree in the backyard, and this is what companies are doing now. They're adding ingredients to the products to make it grow faster, to make it produce more. But the more they compromise the fruit's natural process, is the more damage they do to the fruit and to your bodies, and all that stuff kind of goes inside of you. Some things we should just let them have their own process, and that's what I saw from this. It's like it's an amazing guideline. I mean, I know why people need life coaches. You need a life coach.
If you listen to Earl Nightingale and you go on YouTube and you put in The Stranger's Secret, one of the things he says, okay, so we're talking about running a marathon, we're talking about losing 30 pounds. He says, don't think so much about how to do it. Just picture in your mind's eye what your life would look like when you achieve that. And then he says, and this is not a direct quote, but he says, then let go and let God.
Right.
You just focus on taking those daily 1, 2, 3 steps and think about it. If you take 3 steps every day for a year, that's over 1,000 steps towards achieving a life of your dreams.
Right.
And that Absolutely. To me is just amazing. So, but in regards to everything else, like, don't get overwhelmed, let go, let God, have faith, but be persistent.
Yeah.
One of the things that the movie The Secret that came out, everybody's like, oh, I'm going to use the law of attraction. I'm going to sit on the couch and things are going to happen. The only thing that happens is you get evicted from your house for doing it. But the idea that people have in their head is I heard it once. I forgot who said it. It's like people are sitting in front of the stove and say, all right, as soon as you give me heat, then I'll throw some wood in there. It's like, no, you really need to put the fuel in. You need to put the effort forward to get the heat out. So, watching The Secret 15 times saying, I'm going to be rich and famous, and just sitting on the couch, you're not putting anything in. So nothing.
You're not investing.
Back. No.
Yeah, you're not. I think, and people misinterpret that. Like we used to, in the church, I used to have something called, name it and claim it, right? Declare that you're going to get this thing and you will get it. But you could declare all day. If you don't do something, you won't get anything. The law of attraction also talks about investing. You're basically investing your time, you're investing your energy into the direction that you want to go in. It's not a lazy man's process. You can't just sit in the couch. And, there's a scene in the Secret where you have the guy sitting on his couch and he's pretending that he's in the car that he's in. right? That's talking about getting yourself emotionally in line with where you want to go, because your focus drives you in the direction that you want to go in, right? So once you get your emotions lined up with your thoughts and you're in unison, your mind is in unison with your emotions and your words and your direction, your life would go in that direction. Versus
the opportunities will present themselves to
they
you,
will,
but you
they
have
will.
you have to also be awakened to see them, and then to take action steps towards them as well.
Right,
And
because
so go ahead, Phil.
no, I mean,
I forgot who said the harder I work, the luckier I get. You're like, no.
I
You're
mean,
like, oh man, he's lucky. Like, you don't see the background of what they had to do to get lucky. It's like, it took me 10 years to become an overnight success. Yes.
yeah, no, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to know. I mean, think about it, guys. How many points in your life have you felt like you were doing something that you felt like you didn't belong there? Right? Yeah, you go into work and you're making money, but you every time you go in, you feel like, I don't fit into this. I may be making good money, but I just don't fit into this. And it's like you try to wake up with the right attitude, like, yeah, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to enjoy my day. And you go in, and no matter how good you're doing, you've hit all your goals. Everybody's happy except for you. Right? So, I mean, it is sometimes that's why I was talking about, like, emotionally lining up your emotions with your train of thought and your focus of where I love that about this. You were talking about the time, being specific, knowing exactly where you want to go, measuring, accountability, realistic. I mean, all these are very ideal things you need to have in your plan. You need to have it, in order to make anything happen. And I love that about your presentation, Mona.
Thank you. Well, I think also I would have loved to transcript like the whole of the Earl Nightingale's Stranger's Secret, because it fits so well with Ula. But another thing that he says is that your success is measured by the service that you render. So it's really not about you. And he says as well, and this is quite, like I said, this recording is from the 1950s, and he was the first person that got a gold record for a personal development,
Really?
speech. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Never ever had that happen, because he sold so many copies of it.
The other treat is actually listening to Earl Nightingale. He's got the best voice and delivery.
He does.
Almost as good as Phil.
Yeah, right. That's why I had to have Phil read that, Bible quote, because
I paid you to say that. I paid you guys to say that. All right. 1 second. Hold on.
He
Bitcoin.
says, if you guys stop it. Let me finish my point.
Okay, go ahead.
He says, if you drive through certain neighborhoods, you can see by the neighborhoods the service that the people in these neighborhoods render.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think that's pretty powerful.
That is pretty powerful. Yeah, there is I believe in social mindset. There's a social mindset and there's a personal mindset. And most of the time we're trying to figure out which one comes first. Does the social mindset affect your personal mindset and vice versa, right? But my personal belief is that the social mindset affects your personal mindset. Because when you're born as a baby, it's your social environment that you're born into. Your parents.
Who says, give me a man before the age of 5 and I'll show you give me a child before the age of 7 and I'll show you the man.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
I can't remember who said
that. I agree, because we make certain fundamental life decisions right before as a child. Certain commitments
we don't
that
make them. We're being programmed.
Well, no, I mean, there's certain decisions, like there's certain decisions people make, like if their parents were drug addicts or something, and they see how their parents are living, they're like, and sometimes they make up in their mind. Some kids, depending on their personality, fall into the mindset of what their parents are doing. But there's some kids that look at what their parents are doing and go, that will never happen to me.
Yes, you're right.
And yeah, exactly. And they're in as a child, they've set this fortress up in their mind that no matter what, I'm going to fight that system that I was born in. That's if you got that you got that fighter mentality, but not everybody has that.
Yeah. To me, if Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, the ULA guys, if that was on the curriculums in the schools, I would probably have kept my kids in school.
Wow.
But yeah. I teach them this at home. Like my kids listen to Earl Nightingale. My son at 12 years old was reading Rich Dad Poor Dad because that's the mentality that I want them to adopt, that entrepreneurial mindset. And to me, that's not taught in schools, at least
right.
Not the educational system that I was exposed to or my kids were exposed to. So
yeah, I mean, there's certain things there's certain life skills that are not taught in schools. I mean, in fact, no, there are no life skills that are really taught in schools. It's just a matter of
we're talking about finance, right? And I think even Ramona mentioned this, like you don't get taught how to balance a checkbook.
Nope.
You don't get taught how to open a savings account. Like a lot of the kids, I call them kids, but they're like from 17 to 20, 23.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know what a savings account is. Like they're like, yeah, whatever comes in, I just spend it. Like they have no concept of
right.
the future, of setting goals, of where am I now. When I ask them, where do you want to be in 3 years, they go, what do you mean? I'm like, where do you see yourself in 3 years?
I'll be where I am.
I don't know, here. And I'm like, I'll have a car. Okay, good. Or my favorite question is, if there was no time and money freedom, what would you do? You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about time. Like what would you do? And a lot of these kids have problems answering that question. Actually, I want to say like 1 or 2 out of 5 answer, I want to go to college, which I find interesting. Obviously, if you want to become a doctor, a dentist, I encourage you to go to college.
Right.
But if you, at the age of 16, don't know where you want to go and you have all the time and money freedom, what would you do? The first thing I encourage them to do is take your money, travel and see the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that world might just be the next door state, because I've lived in New York and now I'm in Texas, and I swear it's like living in 2 different countries.
Right.
I've lived in 6 different countries. My children have grown up in 6 different countries, and that has been an education for them to understand the culture of different countries, the languages, the way people live, the way they spend their days, the way they talk and behave. That is just as valuable to me as going to college. And I love how they do it in Denmark, where when they finish high school, majority of the kids actually take a gap year. They work from their 16 until they're finished high school. They save all their money. They take that money, they take a gap year, and they travel around the world.
Wow.
They go and volunteer in South America. One of my girls, she backpacked around the world, but they take that gap year and they travel. And I think once you get that life experience of seeing different places, you are better equipped to make that decision that will be for the rest of your life. Like you guys, when you were 18, did you really know what you wanted to do with your life?
I still don't know what I want to do.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Well, I know now because here I am and I'm finally doing it, and I'm 45. I knew that my calling was to help people. I thought it was in nursing, and then I became a massage therapist, and then I did personal training. So that I've always had that drive towards helping people. But here, I finally feel like I am living my purpose. And
I think that's a lifetime search, because when you're younger, you have an idea, but you're not sure, right? And those, if you're a seeker, you know, those ideas evolve. You know, it's like the more you learn about yourself, the more you learn about the things you like and you don't like, you know, in relationships and business and money. You know, some people can live on a $20,000 a year budget and they're totally happy with that. Like you said, that's their wealth. That's like, wow, I hit my goal, 25,000 a year. Great. Happy for you. Great. That's awesome. Right. But then there's some people that no matter, you know, they've hit certain plateaus in their life, and it's not just financial, but you hit certain plateaus in your life and you're just not satisfied. There's this thing inside you that says, this isn't it. You haven't landed yet. You know, and so you find yourself still seeking, evolving, changing, and that's why I always encourage creativity.
Yes.
Right? Creativity is a huge thing, because creativity, within creativity, you can't have any fear. Right? In creativity, you're challenging somebody's mind to think, you know, what would you do if you had no restraint? What would you do? And that's a great question for you to ask yourself. I want to thank everybody for watching right now, because we're about to transition over to the great Oscar Capel. Yes, yeah, not you, the other guy.
The one in the waiting room.
The one in the waiting room, yeah. We're going to transition to him. He's going to be talking to us about legal options that you can have even as a business or personal. Certain things you can do now, especially where there is a climb in like fraudulent activities online. You need to protect yourself. So please stay tuned for that program. Will be coming up next. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk soon.